Hi guys, Django here, and welcome back to my Valhelsia 5 world. In this episode, we are going to level up our ore processing. We're going to go from 2x processing and manually dealing with ores with Fortune to doing it all automatically. So I don't know, we're going to get 3 times, 4 times ore processing. Stick around and let's see how high we can get it. In an earlier episode, we set up 2 times ore processing with Mechanism. We moved it up here. It's pretty easy. It's basically you put raw ores in here, and they go down through the purification chamber and get doubled, and then you crush it. Enrichment chamber cleans it, and then you smelt it. And we can see this if we just grab some raw something. Just grab a piece of raw copper. And we can put that in here. We can see it's going to turn into there and go through here as clumps, and turn into dirty copper dust, and come out here as copper dust, which gets smelted into copper ingots. And then it just stays there. And we do everything except for this part manually. Now we have Fortune on our pickaxe now, Fortune 3. So, you know, we can break some of this copper here. And did I get 9 raw copper from that? 3 from that one. 1 from that one. I must have had some. But there we go. There's a whole bunch of raw copper, and we put it through here and get all of the copper ingots doubled. Now we don't have to mine stuff manually anymore. Let's plug this hole before we fall in, because we have this digital miner which gets us whatever we want to get, and it mines with Silk Touch, so we can get the ores instead of the raw ores. And unfortunately the digital miner doesn't have Fortune on it. So we need to grab these out of here, put them down, break them manually, because we really want the Fortune on it, right? What we learned, though, is that with the Annihilation plane right over here, when we set this Certus Quartz processing, we can put Fortune 3 on an Annihilation plane. And that will work on these silk-touched ores that we get with the digital miner. So what we're going to do is set up a really quick setup that will automatically grab our ores out of our AE inventory and place them with a formation plane, break them with an Annihilation plane that has Fortune 3 on it, and we won't have to do any of that placing the blocks down and breaking them with our Fortune pickaxe. So let's do that quickly. Now let's put down with an interface. We'll put this right here, an ME interface, which is going to pull out all of the ores that we want to process from our network. Now, we learned last time we're using this P2P tunnel. So this is just connected to our network, which is over there on the other side of that wall. And we just connect this to our network like this. And we configure this to pull out, let's start with iron ores. Deep slate iron ore. And if we put a capacity card in here, we can do more. So we can do both types of iron ore like this. So anytime that iron ore or deep slate iron ore goes into our network, it's going to come out and go into this interface. And we can test this out by getting a couple more of these. We've got this configured to mine redstone ore and iron ore. Okay, grab 2, put them in here, and they're going to be pulled out into our interface like this. Now this interface is going to feed our formation plane right here and place an iron ore as soon as it has power. It's offline, so it doesn't have any power yet. In order to give it power, let's do this. Let's run a quartz fiber right here and not connect this to our network, so this stays isolated. But we'll put that there, which will power that and power the formation plane, and there it goes. It placed one of the 2 iron ores that it has sitting in here. And now we have an Annihilation plane that I've already enchanted, but you just need to make an Annihilation plane, which is made out of an Annihilation core, flux crystal, and iron. And an Annihilation core is a logic processor. Easy stuff. And we take this down to our enchanting table, put it in there with level 30 enchantment, so you can get Fortune 3, and it shouldn't take too long to get Fortune 3 on it. It's pretty easy. We'll put this right on here like this, and once we connect this to our network here like this, It's going to break it, put another one down, and break it. Now, because we're connected directly into our network again, the Annihilation plane sent it right back in here again. And here we have some raw iron. So let's take it out, do this one more time. Let's get a couple more. We'll take these 4. We'll let that run so we get a whole bunch for our test later on. So we put these 4 in here. It's breaking them. We can hear it behind us. And so those 4 iron ores turned into 8 raw iron. And now we can take those 8 raw iron and send them into our doubler and get 16. So from 4, we get 16. That's 4 times. But I think Fortune 3 does a little better than that. But we're going to need to do some testing. All right, so that's it. Now, all we need to do, I'm just going to clean this up again. We don't need this one right here. All we need to do is add in the different ores that we want to process automatically. And it will just pull them out of the system once we put them in. Simple as that. Okay, now next, let's take care of the process for getting these iron ores doubled into iron ingots. So here we've got a full system here with copper ingots. So let's get this stuff out of here first. So we need an import bus, which I've got here somewhere, I think. Yep. We'll put this import bus right here, and then we just need to connect it to our network. And it's just going to pull the stuff out, and that's all going into our network. We have it already configured out. Typically, the output is on the right on these machines by default. We have eject on, and it's just pulling this stuff out. So it continues with the smelting. Now, to get stuff into here, I don't want to just export everything into this system like we're doing over here. Because at some point, I think we're going to be able to do better than doubling on these raw ores. There's a much more advanced mechanism set up that you can get 8 for 3. So instead of just blindly processing everything, I'm going to do it on demand. And we'll set up a method for keeping a certain amount in stock instead of just doing everything. So when we get a little low, it's going to automatically process more of them for us. So for that, we need a pattern provider. And we'll put that on this chest right here. We could put it like right on top of this in place of this transporter, but we'll keep this here. This lets us manually add stuff. And then we just need to connect this glass cable. So this pattern provider, which is now feeding the system, is set up. And now I have a pattern here for osmium, and it produces 2 osmium ingots from 1 raw osmium. And let's run over here and make a quick one for iron. So our pattern encoding terminal. So here's the one I made for osmium. We'll get those out of there. And we'll put 1 raw iron here and need 2 iron ingots. For this recipe, pattern. And here we go. 1 raw iron turns into 2 iron ingots. Now we have that in a pattern. And we're going to put that into our pattern provider just in the same way. And we're going to do this for the other ones as well, but we'll do that later. Tin, copper, uranium, all the things that we can double in this machine. Okay, so now we have a pattern here. If we just view craftable, we can craft iron automatically. And it's going to push it into here, and you can see here it's processing iron. As soon as it finishes, and we get 2 out of here, it's going to complete the crafting pattern. There we go. Okay, now since we're crafting our ores on demand, our ingots rather on demand, we want to at least keep some in stock. So here's a nice, easy way to set up a minimum stock with applied energistics. So we have a interface, and we put a storage bus on it. And we connect it to our network like this, and then we run one up like this. This is just kind of a basic setup for keeping minimum items in storage. And we want to keep a stack of iron ingots. We put this right here, and it says, okay, keep a stack of iron ingots in stock at all times. And in order to do that, we put a crafting card in here. So if it's ever short, take this out, it's going to fill it up again. And it's now short of the 64, so it's going to process more with the crafting card in order to fill that. So if we watch here, it's processing the iron, the raw iron that we had in there until it can get back up to 64. All right, now that this has done processing, we've got a stack of iron ingots in here, and we'll leave that there because this is going to want to process more if we don't leave a stack in there. Let's take a stack of iron ore and we'll put it in here. Now this is going to automatically process all these like this. Okay, this speeds up over time. It's kind of funny. From a stack of iron, we got a little over 2 from Fortune. I don't know if that's unlucky or not. I was kind of expecting 3 times. That's okay, but we're going to be able to double this. And so from a stack of iron ore, we're going to get 278 iron ingots. So that is more than 4x processing. So that's pretty great. But we're going to leave the raw iron in that state for now. However, if we just happen to do something that was going to take one of those, it would kick off the crafting of 1 more, which is going to make 2 more. And so we're going to end up with 65. There it is, 65. All right, so next we're just going to set up our patterns with the different things that we can process in here and set up the different ores that we can export into here and break with Fortune. And we'll set up a number of different ores in here to keep, let's keep 2 stacks. There we go. Let's keep 2 stacks in stock. All right, I just wanted to do that really quick tutorial on the Annihilation plane with Fortune on it, being able to automate ores all the way from the digital miner Silk Touch. We got more than 4x on ores, which is pretty great. We can upgrade that machine behind me a little bit later and we'll get 8 for 3. So that will get us up probably over 5x. Not sure entirely. Got to do the math on that one. I hope this was useful. And if you liked the video, please like the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.